Welcome back, everyone, to our playthrough of the career mode here in NASCAR Heat 2. So we're down to the final 12. We started out with 16, and now 4 are gone, and it's ready to start round number 2 with 12 cars in it. Let's start off by taking a look at the playoff grid itself, and now you can see that here we need to be in the top 8. Luckily for us, we start off with a 29-point cushion, which is very nice. And so we'll start out with the last 4 drivers that are on the outside looking in: Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth Jr., and Denny Hamlin. So those 4 cars need to make a real big move over the next 3 races in order to get their way in, and who knows, may even need a victory in order to do so. So that's what the points look like. Let's go ahead and head to Charlotte. All right, before we get the race started, let's take a quick look at the setup. And once again, it's going to look very similar to what we used at our first race at the track earlier in the year. 100 pounds of rear spring split, and the track bar has been increased to 9 inches from, I believe it was 8 inches. So an increase of 1 full inch on the track bar. And brake bias, I went to 73% this time as opposed to the 75% I've been using the last couple of races. This is something that could easily change on a per track basis, just trying to get a handle on what I want to use, what feels the most comfortable, as that's generally what's going to work out best for you. All right, I think that's the only changes I made, and let's go ahead and get the race started. All right, green flag here at Charlotte. So this is our first race of round 2. So now we need to work hard on getting those points and hopefully at least 1 victory in this round as well. All right, these guys are, of course, all bound up at the beginning of the race and going fairly slowly, trying to give them room, but these guys are swerving around quite a bit. Try to get through some of this as quickly as we can and stick to the bottom. This track races extremely narrow. You can run too wide pretty easy through the corner, but the way the track runs, there's plenty of width for it, but there's not always racing room for it. All right, so we're going to try to once again use this inside path. And the sooner they get single file, the sooner I will enjoy it, because running 3 wide with these guys for any length of time, let's see, 32 car and several in front of him. Wow, okay. Slowed down quite a bit. All right, so now they're going to start blocking me on the bottom, okay. Again, I don't really want to go to the high side unless they're single file. Now, if they'll stay like this in front of us, well, just as I say that, McMurray pops up to the top. All right, nowhere for me to go here, so I'm just going to have to bide my time. Let's try to get to the outside of McMurray before he decides to jump back up top. There's a weird shadow thing going on with the wall, the outside wall. Oh, and we got a wreck, and we're in it. In fact, I think everybody's in it. At least everybody who was back here. All right, we're going to try to get it turned around. Okay, whenever we stop wrecking. There we go. All right, so now this is going to make the race real fun, because we're going to have to try to catch up and not lose any more points than we have to. All right, so we should, okay, just go ahead and, oh, right there, 83. Thank you very much for pulling right down in front of me. So we should have some speed. But will we have enough to make up very many positions? Because as you can see, we are a long way behind. So this is not starting off round 2 the way we would have preferred. But once again, that's just how the breaks happened. And we were at the wrong place This is one of those downsides, really, to starting in the back. It can happen anywhere in the field. Alright, so we'll just get as much speed up as we can, try to make up whatever positions we can, and try to save as many points as we can, because we're going to need them. Who knows, we may lose enough points that the next two races become crucial to get as many points or even a victory. Who knows? That's what makes it fun. Yeah, there's a weird shadow or shader thing going on with the outside wall here, and whenever you're on certain parts of the track, it's hard to even see where the outside wall is. Like going through here on the front stretch, thankfully this isn't an area where you would normally be very close to the wall until you get to the entry of turn 1. So just a weird visual effect, really. And in some parts you can see on the back straightaway, it looks like the fence, the catch fence, is actually showing up through the wall. We're going to try to get past the 34. Alright, so we're up to 35th. So we'll take every position we can get. And once again, you can see all those cars in front of us. We've got time to get to them. It's just going to be a question of how many are we going to be able to get by in the laps we have. Alright, he told me I was getting faster. So that's a good sign. That means we're running some good laps. Trying to let the car float as much as I can, use as little brakes as I can get by with. Last couple of laps, in fact, I've not even touched the brakes. Just trying to float the car into the corner, let it move around. If it wants to move up the track by a groove or so, I'll just allow that, no big deal. Just trying to carry as much speed as we can. Alright, so one good thing about where we are in the race now is that there's been enough laps passed that most of these cars have had a chance to get single file. Obviously, we're still going to encounter side-by-side racing, but we're no longer at that point at the beginning of the race where everybody is running side-by-side just because that's where they started. Alright, so we picked up a few more positions. We're up to 32nd now. And you can see we're catching these guys, particularly at the back of the field, pretty quickly. Right, looks like Cole Witt's going to give us plenty of room. Alright, now the two cars in front of us worry me a little bit because they are moving in lockstep with one another. Okay, looks like we might be able to get by them here in this corner. Earnhardt's going to try to block us. Nope, not going to allow that. Not going to box us in there. Alright, we'll continue on our way. We're up to 29th now. This is pretty fun. An extra degree of difficulty. It's almost like deciding, you know what, we're going to start the race a half lap down and see what we can do with it. That's kind of what this amounts to. I don't know exactly how long I was spinning. I know we did several turns before we finally got stopped and going back the right direction. Well, if they'll keep this configuration, if they'll stay on the bottom down the straightaway, that would be a beautiful thing. And, well, we got the 83 car, couldn't really decide where he wanted to go. All right, now we're up to 24th. So we're knocking them down pretty quick as soon as we get to them, which is an awesome thing, because we don't have laps to waste on our march forward. We need to get as far forward as we can get. Yeah, car feels good when I'm able to let it drift up in the corner and not worry about trying to run a certain groove and just letting the car go where it wants to go. Sticking on this high side, because that seems to be what the cars that I'm racing want to give me. You can see they're all taking the bottom pretty much exclusively through the corners, giving us plenty of room to get around on the outside. All right, we're up to 22nd. All right, let's see if Menard will stay down on the bottom and give us a little room out here. All right, I just heard the spotter say that was our best lap, so again, I like to see that. All right, Reagan's going to take the bottom. Well, this is how I like to catch them. Single file and a little bit spread out. Back off and give Stenhouse a little bit of room there. Okay, he returns the favor off the corner. Gives us all right, now we'll set our sights on Jones. All right, 21 laps left, and we are in the top half of the field. And wow, far cry from where we were. All right, yep, I had a feeling he was going to go to the high side. Ooh, watch out. Yeah, I had a feeling he was going to go to the high side, so thought we'd return to the bottom, at least for a couple of corners. That weird effect with the fence is still catching my eye every time around this track. It just looks weird. Some very long shadows for sure around this track. So we're up to 18th somehow. And looks like we got several cars in front of us. If we can catch and pass that group of cars, that will go a long way toward making up several positions. Would definitely love to have that, because that looks to be several positions. All right, let's see if we can get by Amarola here in turn 3 and 4.
Go high, go high. Hold your line. All clear, all clear.
All right, up to 17th. with 17 laps to go. Alright, so they're running 2x2 up here. Yeah, you can see them fan out, which means I'm probably going to have to do this on the bottom side, which is not good news for me. I would love to stay up here on the high side because I know we got plenty of speed that we could just run right by these guys, but right now we kind of have a blocked track. Although I'm not opposed to trying it 3 wide in turn 1 and 2. Not so much in 3 and 4. In fact, I'm going to float this thing. Yeah, I mean, these guys are going a good bit slower than what I want to go. And this is just not good. Blocked again. Oh, we got a car sideways. Oh, and they got us. All right, 24 car? My goodness. All right, so we'll try it again. Yikes, there goes all those positions we worked so hard to gain. Boy, I was sort of stuck there, hoping that he was going to stay at the top, but he just did a lazy slide all the way to the bottom of the track. Man. Still glad that yellows aren't on, because one of the things I hate doing in these games is running around under yellow. Even when it would help you out as far as positions and pit stops and all that kind of thing. Alright, so let's see. We're back to 27th now. Oh, goodness. And the 24 car, for some reason, is still out here doing I don't know what, other than he really is a moving chicane at this point. So I'm really trying to ride this thing hard now. No reason not to. Really need these guys in front of us to get single file, though. That would be awesome. Nowhere for me to go right now. It's kind of where we were last time. Oh, look out. Alright, so Danica. Oh, boy, what is happening here? Holy cow, I was standing on the brakes trying to keep off of her. She slowed down quite a bit more than I was expecting. Clear high, that's what I wanted to hear. Let's get back up top, see if we can't get our rhythm back. And pass. Oh, really? Okay, maybe we won't go back to the top just yet. Alright, we're back to 21st. And now I can't remember exactly how high we had gotten. Again, just trying to run this thing as hard as I can. And not quite enough grip there. So we're running out of laps now. Let's see what we got. Yeah, 8 more laps. In this edition of bumper cars. It's almost like we're on a figure 8. will we have enough time to pick up a few more positions? Every position counts, and every position would be wonderful. So this definitely is not going to be how we envisioned this race going and the first race of the round going, because our finishing position is not going to be indicative of how fast a car we actually have, because our car is running pretty good actually. Alright, so that puts us up in the top half of the field, so we're in 20th. And we're going to try to get a few more spots up here in front of us. We've got 5 laps to do it. I think we can. Got to get past Reagan, and I believe that's, what, the 6th car in front of him. No, it's not. It's the 17, actually, I believe. His teammate. Alright, so we will indeed be able to get both of those cars. That puts us up into 18th. Laps are definitely winding down now. 3 more times. Alright, so do we have enough time to get to this next car in front of us? I think so. Can't tell if it's already a lap car or not, but that's our goal anyway. We're going to try to get to them and get by them. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be able to get to them. We are visibly gaining on them quite a bit. So nope, that is Jones, Eric Jones in 17th, so that is not a lap car. Alright, so last lap. Clear high, that's what I wanted to hear. We'll get back to our normal groove, and I don't think we're going to have enough time to get any further though. You can hear the crowd cheering, indicating that this is the end. So we'll bring it home 17th after everything that happened. After all of the spinning and the contact and the wrecking, we'll come home 17th. So not as bad as I was thinking it might be. Alright, so let's take a look at the standings and see what that does. There, alright, it drops us down to 4th, but we're still 23 points to the good. And Kyle Busch, no surprise there, brings home the victory. And now that secures him a spot in the round of 8. Very nicely done for Kyle Busch. Jimmy Johnson, Truex, both also had solid runs. And then Kevin Harvick apparently had a fairly good run as well. So all of the guys in the top 5, including us, are in really good shape right now. But then you look down below the cut line and, well, Matt Kenseth is in a must-win at this point. He obviously was part of one of these wrecks. Not sure which one, but at least one of them. But other than that, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano are still not out of this thing on a points basis. So overall, definitely not the race we were looking for, but we end up bringing home a decent finish considering everything that happened. All right, we did not reach our incentive goals. Well, we would have. We were very close, but not quite there. All right, let's pick a new contract. I'm just going to go with the easy one again. And now it's time for Talladega. Wow. Next video should be interesting. This is actually what happened in this race at Charlotte. It's kind of what you expect to happen at Talladega. So hopefully we'll rebound and have a great race at Dega. That'll be in our next video. For now, thank you very much for joining me. And stay tuned for more NASCAR Heat 2.